Hi again, intermediate algebra students. Time for another online lesson. This may be one of the shorter ones that you'll ever view. Reason is we're going to show you a little bit of information probably that you already know. We are going to do some stuff using your graphing calculators in this lesson, but probably easiest for us to show you this in class, I think. Anyway, scatter plots and best fit lines. You have an idea what a scatter plot is. Two sets of data plotted as ordered pairs. So on this example here you can see my two data points, my x and y if you will, are car weight and then miles per gallon. And as you might guess, you can see what the trend is of this data. The heavier a car is, then the worse its mileage would be, as you might guess. So this is a pretty good example of scatter plots. There's a lot of real life examples that we could show as scatter plots as well. Next slide shows us the kinds of scatter plots that we have basically. Notice we have the first one here where the points go up from left to right, and we say that that has a positive correlation. By the way, correlation, as you can see the definition up here, how well the data points fit a particular line. And as you can see on this first one here, if we could kind of draw an imaginary line through here, clearly that has a positive slope, hence that's why we call it a positive correlation. As one variable goes up, the other one will also go up. Looking at the next one, as you might guess, here the variables or the data points go down as you are increasing with your x value here. So we say that's a negative correlation. Clearly you can see that trend, how the data points are going. Now the big question is, and what about the last one there? What would you say for that? Now we could actually put a trend line in here, but you really can't see much of a trend. So we say on one like this that there is no or none for the correlation. There's really no connection between the x variable and the y variable. Now what we're going to be doing in class is getting a little bit more specific, is seeing if we can actually figure out what that best line that fits this data is. And we'll call this the line of best fit. And we can do this really nicely with our graphing calculators. We'll be practicing that in class tomorrow, probably quite a bit more. So that's what we mean by correlation. And the reason it's significant is because when we have scatter plots, probably the biggest reason why we collect data and plot it is so we can make a prediction on some future level. And so that's why we like to come up with what we call a best fit line, and by using that line we can make future predictions. Of course, some correlations are going to be stronger than others. I would say on these first two examples here, that's fairly strong correlation, meaning that if we drew a line through those points, most of those points would be really close to that particular line. This one, if we looked at the correlation, we could actually figure it out if you wanted to on your calculator, but it would be very weak on one like that. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Again, try not to be scatterbrained when we're doing scatter plots, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. Bye now.